Hey, all my movie maniacs and friends out there, Mark the Movie Man here. Welcome to the Final Cut, and we're taking a look today at a new creepy horror film that's out called Gretel and Hansel. Yes, it's hitting the big screen now from Oz Perkins, and we get the story. Well, it's based off of the famous fairy tale from the Brothers Grimm. Well, they have Hansel and Gretel, who are brother and sister, and they are rejected by their mom during a time when things are very bleak. There's a sickness running across the land and drought, and yeah, people are dying of starvation, and well, the mom just can't take it anymore. Dad is already gone, and so they reject our kids and just send them into the woods. Well, as they're out there fending for themselves, they do run across a cabin, and in that cabin is a plethora of food and an elderly host that is more than welcome to have them in their home. But soon they find out there are some very dark reasons why this host wants them in the house, and we see how they deal with this and try to survive and not become a member of the menu. Gretel and Hansel is a fantastic film. It was PG-13, which didn't take away from it at all. And if anything, I likened this to like a teen version of The Witch in many ways. Atmosphere is fantastic in here. Oz Perkins really gives us a feeling of bleakness, and this feels ancient. It feels like a fairy tale, like it's from a Brothers Grimm fairy tale, with the color palette that they choose and the location. It's just all very gothic and dark, and I loved it so much. Just the atmosphere, the environment that they're in is a character in and of itself, and I loved that aspect of it. Puts you right in where Gretel and Hansel live. Now, Gretel is played by Sophia Lillis, and I loved her performance in here. I've always enjoyed every role she's in, and here she really nails this part of Gretel, who is vulnerable but at the same time strong. She's not quite sure what she is going to do to protect her brother, who she loves, and at the same time she's coming into her own. It's a kind of a coming of age arc with her, and she's starting to discover things within herself. Who helps that is the witch that they come across, the elderly lady who is their host, played by Alice Krieg, and they get some fantastic scenes between these two performers. I loved it. It's just them sitting at a table with dialogue, one in particular about poison, and it was so great. You could feel tension and cut it with the knife, and it's just them two sitting there delivering their lines so well that, it was just solid performances by them. Now, Hansel, we don't get a whole lot of Samuel Leakey, but he does well in this role too. For a young kid, he delivers his lines well, which is always tough when you have young performers in films. Not quite sure how that goes along occasionally, aka Phantom Menace, check that out. Ooh, line delivery is a little rough there, but here Samuel does fantastic as Hansel, and you feel a sibling connection between him and Gretel. The story that they took, they do a very slight variation on it, and I loved it. It was engrossing, it was fascinating. There's not a lot of action in here, but there's a lot of creepy stuff going on, and very few jump scares, maybe 2 at most, I think, but there's a lot of great creepy atmosphere, a lot of things going on, a lot of rich history. You feel that. The director gives these characters room to breathe. The way it's edited and paced, though, you will never be checking your watch. You could easily have taken this type of film and made it a slower paced film and kind of like, but you're just waiting for it, because everybody knows the tale, or many people know the tale, I should say, of Hansel and Gretel. So to see them kind of turn it on a dime a little bit and give it some extra oomph to the story, I think was really well crafted and done. Overall, it's a solid film. While it's not bringing a whole lot new to the table, what it does do, it does excellently. And they do play it a little bit safe, but that's okay, because this easily could be another gateway film for teenagers to get into creepy and gothic type horror films. It definitely fits the bill here, and I think if you're looking for something like that for young adults and such, you're looking to kind of get them into horror films, and it's not nearly as gruesome as The Witch, but I will say it's close in its atmosphere and creepiness, and that's why I adored it, and I had to give it 4 stubs. I give 4 stubs to Gretel and Hansel. It is a very well-crafted film that doesn't overstay its welcome and delivers right where you want it to deliver. So there you have it, folks. If you've seen this movie, please leave your comments down below. Love to hear your constructive thoughts on this film. If you liked it, if you didn't, please subscribe if you haven't already, and check out our Patreon as well. I thank you for your support, and until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.